Psychers are a well-known existence in the setting of 40k. Their abilities are a naturally occurring mutation among the populace of the Imperium. They are able to tap into the essence of the warp in order to do all manner of superpowered feats, such as mind reading, pyrokinesis, and even teleportation. However, with the natural occurrence of psychers, a seemingly opposite mutation has shown up among humans. Blanks, or nulls, are unique beings that have mutated what is known as a pariah gene. They exhibit absolutely no psychic presence in the warp, a concept that has them seen as soulless. To further explain, every human has some kind of connection to the warp. The warp is this realm of souls, emotions, and feelings that all sentient beings feed into, whether they know it or not. But, to a blank, they don't have any connection to it whatsoever. This leaves blanks as sort of negapsychers that exhibit a field of negative energy that interferes with the feelings and souls of other warp-sensitive individuals. Curiously, there are some associates of blanks that have shared the same observation, that blanks are pretty emotionless and lack imagination when problem-solving. The members of the Magos Biologus, the priesthood of Mars dealing with the study of genetics, anatomy, and biology, have come to the conclusion that humans are the only species to have evolved the pariah gene, and extensive study has gone into its phenotype. The energy of the gene's phenotype is much more dangerous depending on the level of negativity a blank has. Yes, like it is for psychers, blanks come in different levels of power, how much they can dampen the presence of the warp around themselves and around others, and the lives for them on each respective level can get very desolate. I have no strong feelings about life in the Imperium one way or the other. Sigma, Tau. These lower-level individuals have a minimal absence in the warp, to the point where other people might not even notice. They are more emotionally neutral compared to how most others behave. They are also more likely to accept their roles in the grand scheme of the Imperium, making them compliant workers. The pariah gene in their genome is in the recessive state, but still exudes a modicum phenotype. A negligible, if not slight, unpleasantness is felt when in their presence. Commissar Kane wants me to fight that Tyranid swarm. I said to him, tell me when to stop. Upsilon, Phi, Chi, Psi. Slightly lower on the assignment, these blanks are capable of exuding an actual influential null sphere around them. Their pariah gene is also recessive, but puts out a more notable phenotype. When near them, non-psychers feel mildly uncomfortable, and psychers start to experience headaches and fatigue. Because of their level of power, they are valuable assets in regular combat among the Imperial Guard, being used as protection against warp-based attacks. The possibility of joining an Inquisitor's retinue is also feasible, though they are more likely to be abused as living shields. They can disrupt Tyranid synapses, block psychic attacks from enemy psychers, and diminish the presence of demons until they need to go back to the warp. Unless they are in a recognizable position of authority that demands respect, they might be viewed as outcasts by regular society. Omega. Omega nulls are lucky if they make it past childbirth. When an unfortunate newborn with a dominant pariah gene is birthed, they might be immediately killed by those in their vicinity, given the aura they produce. It is at this level that blanks are classified as pariahs. Painful to even a non-psycher, their field of otherness makes them intolerable to be around. Unlike a regular blank, they can completely cut off the connection of the warp to the materium, which can quickly kill psychers and banish demons in their immediate area. A pariah can also siphon off and strengthen themselves from psychic energy. Despite these risks to the psychically attuned populace, Omegas are much sought after by higher Imperial authorities. The Sisters of Silence seek these certain blanks so that they may join their ranks, often abducting new recruits in their infancy. With access to Imperium technology, an Omega blank can be outfitted with equipment that will allow them to mechanically reduce the range of their auras. A pariah makes for the perfect gatherer of psychers for the black ships that are sent throughout the galaxy to find sustenance for the Emperor. They are even assigned to guard the Imperial Palace itself from supernatural and psychic threats. Some pariahs can even be trained to hide themselves from the senses of others using their gift, an especially useful talent in the field of spycraft within the Inquisition. Fear them on sight if you believe you are remotely psychic.
She who thirsts, I who laugh.
Solitaires. Solitaires are a unique case among the Xenos in the galaxy. Only humans have the pariah gene, but these unique warriors lack a soul despite being Eldari. This is because they are doomed to have their being devoured by Slaanesh when they die. They produce the same field of discomfort human blanks can make, but they also have a culturally rooted stigma around their presence. To an Eldari, to talk to or to even touch one is to doom yourself, and suicide is preferable than continuing on in their company. They will sometimes hide amongst the craft worlds of the Asuryani or the depraved crowds of Kamarog, wandering on by the whims of their fancy, fighting when they want to. Solitaires are completely fearless, taking on squadrons of troops single-handedly, laughing in the faces of giant foes, and traveling the dangerous, twisting paths of the webway by themselves. They have been reported to run up completely sheer fortress walls with no grips, meld out from the shadows of locked panic rooms, pulling the hearts out of their victims without destroying their clothing, and even slowing time around themselves. Once a solitaire shows up, they are welcomed by their kin to join whatever battle they find themselves in, because they know better than to refuse such a walking apocalypse.
That which is unknown and unseen always commands the greatest fear.
Omega Minus. Unlike Omegas who are regularly trained to use their ability for offense and defense, Omega Minus leveled pariahs are specialized solely for killing. Omega Minus blanks are so strong with their negative field that regular humans would rather kill themselves than be in their presence, and psychers, they would rather wish they had never been born. They are seen as so incredibly valuable by the Officio Assassinorum that they are spared the initial trial of the Assassin Temples, the battle royale among the new recruits that occurs before their official training. They will be brought up as Culexus Assassins to specifically kill high-level psychers. These assassin pariahs are so deadly that their temple, the Fortress of the Soulless, is located on a dead moon in the far reaches of the galaxy, outside the range of the Astronomicon, so as to not interfere with warp travel. They are beings of no soul, covering everything in their blackness. But things can get even blacker.
That which commands the greatest fear is simply a goalpost to surpass.
It is possible that a null can be engineered to further empower their ability to the point where they can reflect any psychic power back onto its wielder. It is possible to be deemed so unstable and powerful with the pariah gene that you must be thrown into a sun as an execution. A combination of demon and unstable null, the Black Pariah shows what is possible when you want no light of a soul to exist afterwards in the warp. His ability was so strong that he was once tasked by the Dark Apostle of Chaos, Erebus, to personally assassinate the Emperor of Mankind. He only needed a drop of his blood to make it happen, and luckily for the Imperium, he failed. Pray that Chaos never makes another creature like this ever again, and pray that your light never finds itself under their shadow when they do.